feel like Superman and tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. I feel that air it out, air it out. I hate it, clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman and tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. Take off. I'm on a rocket, a space dog. Bought a new car from Elon, wanna race. I've been asking how long is it gonna take. I've been cracking the car, had to break it safe. I've been riding my wrongs, had to change my ways. I was stuck in one place, so I had to shake. They try holding me down, but I found my way. Roddy Rich and no bicycle love me. Ride away, then my heart went on ice again. Find the balance, my patience been going thin. In the field every day till I reach the end. I've been up on your side like we had a bounce. Ain't no way that they think that it's stopping now. I've been waiting for my turn to come around. I've been waiting for my turn to come around. Air it out, air it out. I had to clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman and tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. I feel that air it out, air it out. I had to clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman and tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out.
What's up, football fans, and welcome to the Air It Out podcast. It's your boy, your host, Avery Collins. And here's the thing, I know it's a new time, it's a new day, but really, is it new, or are we going back to what? Anyway, I'm joined here with the whole crew, y'all. The whole crew is here. We here. We got the coach. We got Darius. We got the Juan plus one. Ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Show it off, Juan. Let them know what it is. We in the building, y'all. Say what's up to the people, coach. Talk to them.
I'm sorry, but Juan, that looked like how the girls they want to show it off like I'm sorry. Did you not know? Oh my, I'm sorry. Did you hear that?
I mean, I'm not afraid to show it off, and if I'm showing off, I'm gonna show it off, and
I love it. But I'm happy to be back. Glad everybody's on today. And funny thing, anybody notice that the only team that really was on our intro from us was them Ravens. I ain't seen no Pats or the Jets or the Falcons.
That's
not my true. Ravens though. Just saying. Just saying.
First of all, I mean,
just saying. The first thing we see
also show that
Lamar coming out there. Yeah, I mean,
we're also showing that Derrick Henry still with the Tennessee Titans, as is AJ Brown, along with a litany of other players with teams that they're no longer even affiliated with. So,
I mean, you know what else what else was in that intro?
No, it wasn't.
I just never get.
We somehow gotta add that to the intro.
It wasn't
nah.
We somehow gotta add that to the intro.
That's not
going to add that to the intro.
I thought it might be. I don't know.
Nah.
I don't know.
Now we did show a stiff arm with him, and it was a glorious stiff arm.
What we really need to add to the intro. Darius, say what's up to the people. What's going on?
I mean, I'm not as blessed as y'all yet. We a little naked over here. I don't have that yet, but it's coming soon. Hopefully, knock on wood. But it's good season. It's good to be back. We got the whole crew. I'm ready to talk football. Darren, you're an Eagles fan, low key. It's okay.
Lies. I honestly just had to rip it.
Hey, the pitchers don't lie, man. Pitchers don't lie, man. That's all I'm saying.
Pictures worth 1,000 words. Ron, what's up, sir? How are you? Say what's up to the people.
Feeling good today. I felt like I had to be kind of a snake at work today. Just kind of be sneaking, getting stuff done for today. I really don't know how I was playing, so I decided to put on my Kevin Durant 35 jersey. Just felt like I had to be a snake in the grass today. Here on this podcast.
Oh.
Pew, 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 shots fired. Oh. Shots fired. Pew, pew.
Oh.
Pew, pew.
How we coming today, gentlemen? I see.
KD, you got 24 hours to respond, KD. You got 24 hours to respond. That's what Juan said. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is not the NBA podcast. This is the Air Out podcast where we talk all things pro sports. So pro football. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that. If y'all don't mind, we're going to go right into our first topic, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't know if you guys know this. I mean, you should, but if you don't, it is combine season, ladies and gentlemen. It's combine season, and yeah, we had a phenomenal combine last week. It was absolutely out of this world. I mean, we had records being broken. We had defensive tackles running sub 5, sub 4, 8, 40, like at 300 pounds, ladies. It was absolutely amazing. So I want to talk to you guys. Like what were some combine standouts for you guys? Who were some combine standouts for you guys? I'm going to start with the 1+1. What do you think about the combine, the results? Who was a standout for you? Who's like, and who increased their draft stock for you?
Honestly, there were a lot of great skilled players and linemen that showed out and really put themselves out there. But I'm actually going to focus on the position that doesn't even really participate in the combine anymore, and that's the quarterback position. Specifically when it comes to a lot of the quarterbacks that actually had to showcase themselves to try to get up on a draft board. The fact that Caleb Williams was there, answering questions, trying to say justify why he wasn't participating and saying, just check my tape and I'll show you everything you need to know. I get it. You don't have to participate at the combine because you're a projected number one pick. All you care about is going number one. It doesn't do well to kind of project your personality and image to the media, to fans, probably also to the teams, because teams look at that stuff. How you comport yourself in front of the media, how you comport yourself at a press conference in a stand, it really shows character. And I wasn't really impressed with Caleb Williams as a character when it came to his press conference. But JJ McCarthy, I'm surprised he's getting shot up the boards of the way he is, man. And I've in Michigan, I've seen the kid play. He was projected to be a day 2 pick before the combine, and now he's being even mocked 6 overall to the Giants after the combine play. Whether he was making decent throws in his combine drills, and he interviewed really well. But I don't see JJ McCarthy as his start now player, and that's to validate a top 10 pick on him to take him. He was more of a game manager role in Michigan, where he wasn't required to do much on an offense that was loaded in nearly every facet. So yeah, my point here, quarterbacks were my main focus. JJ McCarthy shot up draft boards, and I really don't see why. And Caleb Williams, I don't know how you're gonna do, buddy, but clean up your attitude, bud.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of agree with you with the check my tape. Like when he said that this is what I got, I'm just like, what? That's kind of, to me, it sounds like privileged. It's like, dude, you haven't proven anything. You were good. You were good in college. College is done, bro. What you mean check? I don't need to check. I need to see what you can do right now. Can you throw in air? I want to see that. Can you throw to some guys that you don't know? Because of course you can throw to your receivers that you then had an off season with, and you got chemistry. Can you throw to some guys? Because guess what? When you get to the NFL, initially that's what's going to be the case. You're going to be throwing to guys you don't know. I want to see that. I want to see how you handle yourself in the interview. When it comes to the media, when they're asking you the hard question, I want to see that. I don't want to. To me, that just sounds really, really arrogant. So I agree with you there, Juan. But when it comes to McCarthy, and just to touch on it real quick, when it comes to McCarthy, he's moving up and I see why he's moving up. The reason he's moving up is people are seeing, oh wait, he actually can make any throw. That was the question, right? Like you were saying, he played in a stacked offense. They ran the ball majority of the time. He wasn't asked to do much, so they wanted to know, can he do more? I agree with you. I'm not sure if he can carry a team, but if you're a team who's built, who just needs a quarterback to manage the football game, I don't want him, but a la an Atlanta Falcons, where it's just we don't need you to do much. We've got a great running game. We've got some good weapons on the outside. Our defense is good. Just be competent. right? JJ absolutely can do that. So if you're a team like that, where you don't have too many holes, I can see why he's moving up draft boards.
I have seen him projected to Atlanta, but it's more Atlanta coming back into the end of the first round and taking him like 30th overall.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of like if is he worth a first round grade for any team. I don't know if any team is in a position right now where a first round pick for JJ McCarthy is warranted. Maybe borderline top 10 in the second round, but I can't in good conscience say he's a first day pick.
No, I would agree. I mean, to me, a perfect fit for JJ McCarthy is a team where he can sit for a year or two and learn. Like a perfect fit for me is that, and you might not like this one, but is the New York Jets, where you can sit behind a Hall of Fame quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. You can learn and soak up, get a lot of knowledge. We saw just Jordan Love, we saw what he did last year after sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for a couple of years. You sit behind that kind of guy and learn an NFL offense. I think JJ could be absolutely, again, and it's a team that doesn't have too many holes. Good running game, good weapons on the outside. Defense is really good.
Zach Wilson scarred me. That's all I'm going
to say. And yeah, absolutely. So Coach, talk to me. The Rams, another great comp, right? Coach, talk to me. Who were your combine standouts? Who raised their stock, or even who decreased their stock in your mind?
So, two real quick big shout outs. One, shout out to Avery for that hat, legendary type of hat right there. I don't know if people know that, but just shout out to that. Second, I'm sorry, but Caleb Williams said what needed to be said. I'm the number one overall pick, and everyone knows it. Why do I need to go out here and do these drills? I did this in college. When I came to college, I had no one that I knew, and I still was the number one guy making plays.
College and pro
again,
different. And USC quarterbacks don't have a track record of being good. Like, what do we
listen? He's the number one projected overall pick and been consistently that way for months now. I'm sorry. I would have said the same thing if I was him. Listen, check the tape. You can come see me in my pro day. Other than that, I don't need that. But when we're talking about standout guys, I'm sorry, I can't go offensively. I gotta go defense on this one. What are we talking about here? You want me to go to the corners, the safeties, the D linemen? Nah, listen. First off, Brandon Fitz, he's going to be a late first rounder with the performance he did. I'm sorry. You can't be 6'4", 298 and running a 4.7.
And he nimble.
A 10-1, I believe, in the 3-cone split with like a 40-foot vert almost. That is absolutely ridiculous explosion from that type of position. And let's just not even go there, but the edge rushers, the Chop Robinsons, like it was beautiful to watch. But what's even more beautiful, the linebackers. People be forgetting linebackers are people too, and you got 8 of them that ran a sub 4.8. Some of them edge rushers, some of them in the box, and 3 of them, including the number one guy, a 4.4. Listen, defenses are getting just as fast as these offensive guys. Nate Wiggins ran a what, gentlemen? A 4.28. A 4.28. We had corners at minimum. It was about 8 corners that ran about a 4.3, 4.2, 4.4. When you get to the 4.4s, now we're talking 15 to 20 almost. It's ridiculous. The numbers are showing you just how athletically gifted these guys are coming out of college. And I can't wait to see them play in the pros. Oof, it's about to be a track meet.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. And I think this is the first time in a while that the DBs outran the receivers in the 40. Like, it's been the receivers killing it in the 40 times. Like, DBs have been really like the 4.4s, and receivers have been like 4.3s. It's been a long time since the DBs have they was out here. They were cooking. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see some of these matchups.
Oh, let me throw this in there real quick. Brian Thomas, that 4.33. Hey, boy, B-More would love you down here. I'm telling you, B-More would love you.
My. Well, Darius, talk to me, man. How you feeling about the combine? Who are the guys that stuck out to you? What do you think, man?
We gotta appreciate the combine, right? Because like Super Bowl's over, we're kind of like we gotta wait a few weeks, then we get the combine, then we get the tampering with the free agents, then we get free agency, then we die down, right? We die down. But with the combine, it's like a kid in a candy store. So you turn your TV on, you watch NFL Network, and you watching all these guys, Isaiah Worthy. Whoo, shout out to Worthy, man. Like if you watch the video, he saw it and he kept right. Like he couldn't even. It's like he almost couldn't even stop. That's how fast he was.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought he got faster
once he saw it too. Like he could have ran faster his third run.
It looked like he got faster once he saw his time. Like he took off. Like yeah, I'm like
he is crazy fast. We talk about speed, right? Like we look at the NFL now. Before with receivers, it was big, physical. Now we're seeing a lot of smaller receivers, Tyreek Hill type of breeds, where you could be 5'10", 5'9", but if you run in a 4.2, 4.3, you can run those crisp routes. You can get the ball in your hands, man. You can have a successful career. But a guy I looked at, that we really talk about the quarterback position, right? Guys like Caleb Williams didn't throw, he didn't participate, but Michael Penix Jr., I think he had a really solid combine, and now he's talking about being a potential first-round pick. We always talk about quarterbacks sitting behind like veteran or Hall of Fame quarterbacks. I think that's the success. We saw with Patrick Mahomes with Alex Smith. He sat behind Alex Smith. Look at him now, one of the best quarterback in the league. So I think that's what teams should do. And a guy like Michael Penix, he goes into a system where all he has to do is sit, learn, and then you hand him the keys. The biggest thing with him is his injury history, right? If he could stay healthy, but man, he's a stud. I think he had a good draft. Talk about JJ McCarthy. I think it's the same thing with him. You put him in a system where he learns and he sits for a year and he actually understands. And he gets to pick that. A guy like Aaron Rodgers, a perfect example. The Jets are a perfect. As much as I want to say this, but the Jets are a perfect team for him because you can learn from one of the best quarterbacks, and then you have the defense, you have the running game, right? And then you be that game manager where all you're actually do is not turn the ball over and get us in position to win the game. That's all you have to do. That's all we're asking you to do, and the defense will take care of the rest. And you're learning from Aaron Rodgers. But Michael Penix is one of the guys who I like this. I like this, the throwing and everything that he did. But that boy Worthy, man, woo-wee. Yeah. Like we talked about, don't let the Chiefs get him. If the Chiefs get him, I'm done with the league. Like if the Chiefs if they let that man fall to Kansas City, it's gonna be a problem.
You know what? You were talking about JJ and another team that came to mind that I honestly think if he was to come in as the immediate starter, I think the perfect situation outside of the Jets, and obviously he wouldn't be the immediate starter there, right? Because Aaron Rodgers is there. I'm thinking the Cleveland Browns running game, phenomenal. Defense, really good. Like they could be scary good. I mean, that it looks like a Michigan type team. Run the football.
So what do we do with Deshaun?
What do you do with a $230 million albatross?
I'm just
guaranteed one, and that
all guaranteed.
And that's the only issue. That's the only caveat there. But I'm just saying, if you like, look, man, we'll take the dead money there for winning, right?
Can we also stop forgetting about the Raiders now? Like they don't have solid receivers.
Yeah, but
solid tight end with a Josh Jacobs
and a quarterback and a head coach who's looking to like really like ingrain
without question
ingrain culture. And Harvey comes from that culture.
That would be a great team. That would be a great fit as well. But which team is more complete, the Browns or the Raiders? And I'm going with the Browns, right? Like they made the playoffs with somebody who came in off the couch. Like, and Joe Flacco's not no slouch.
Super Bowl.
He's not a slouch. He's not a slouch. He's not a slouch.
Elite at one point.
Man took
He's not elite. He had 3 elite games. That's it.
But I'm saying he was considered elite. They were having conversations, Darren.
Oh my!
We miss you too. Shout out to the CEO being in the comments. Listen, leave us your comments. Please do that. throw your comments in the chat. We'll get them in here live on the air. I want to talk about my guys. So, like, I was going to say Michael Penix as well, Darius, but since you went with him, I'm going to go with a guy who I believe can be this year's Sauce Gardner. Like, I think he's that good. I think he can come in and immediately change the defense, and his name is Quinyon Mitchell. I was not expecting 4-3. Like, I knew he could run, but 4-3-3, that kind of blew me away. So I'm like, okay, one, you're faster than Sauce, but he's way more physical than I thought. Like, I heard that at the combine, he was just locking people up. Been a while, so go Blue. Shout out to the Michigan Wolverines with the national chip. From what I've heard from him being at the Senior Bowl and from what I saw in film, he was absolutely locking guys up, going one-on-one with the best guys there, and just you couldn't do anything with him. And I didn't know he was that competitive and that strong, that physical. And it reminds me of a Sauce, where it's just like Sauce went to Cincinnati, right? Like, it's a big school, but it's not like in Alabama and LSU, right? Where like Toledo's not like they're a viable team, but they're not, like one of those top tier guys. And so, like, it creates this subtle chip on your shoulder. Like, I gotta prove myself because of the fact that I'm not coming from Alabama and just getting the hype. I'm coming from Toledo. Let me show you what I can do, because you don't know who I am. You don't know my name. So I'm gonna line up against all y'all who got those offers, all y'all that went to the SEC and the ACC. Let me show y'all what's up. Let me show y'all what I do. And I think he's going to be the first corner off the board. I think he's going to be the first corner off the board, even over Nate Wiggins, who ran the 4.2, but he was absolutely love Mitchell. I feel like Wiggins is better in ways. I definitely said that before the 40. I feel you. I like Wiggins. I think Wiggins is probably he's got better feet, but I think technique-wise, I think I like Quinyon Mitchell more. But Nate, I mean, you can't teach feet, and Nate got amazing feet. But that physicality, I was not expecting that from Quinyon Mitchell. That was like, when I saw him, I'm like, okay, this guy, he's not just because he played a lot of zone at Toledo, right? Amazing feet, can break down onto the ball, and because of his speed, he's going to disrupt a lot of passes. But he was playing man coverage and lock. I'm just saying, I don't know, this guy, he's the real deal to me. So that's somebody I'm looking at to have raised his draft stock. Like I said, I think he can be the number one corner off the board. All right, y'all, listen, we're going to jump into our next topic. And this one is near and dear to my heart. This is like, I know it's not football season, and I know it's also, but I really love the free agent market. Like just seeing all the names and it's like, wait, y'all let go of who y'all cut, who y'all franchise tagged, who y'all did. It's wild to me. So I want to know from you guys the biggest free agent cut that you guys like. Yo, y'all cut that guy. Y'all cut Darren. Are we getting Wiggins at 22? Are y'all?
What y'all Eagles fans is getting at 22? Y'all need a lot in that defense right now.
What do you mean, y'all Eagles fans? I don't get it.
I don't get the ass.
I mean,
if y'all Eagles fans want them, I would advise y'all to get them.
What do you mean, y'all? Like, I don't.
Oh yeah, y'all. Like,
no, like me. You.
No.
You.
See, when you try to be good and a great husband, it backfires. And I'm still living with this for years.
I just want to know. Are y'all getting these players? Like,
I don't know what y'all want to do.
He wants to know
that's
too.
up to y'all. That's up to the Eagles fans. Those Eagles fans need to go ahead and get their players.
Anyway, Darius, I'm gonna start with you. The biggest cut so far that you're like, whoa, like, okay, that was I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one coming. Talk to me.
I'll give an honorable mention just because of we know the most important position. It was a little bit more of a head scratcher, but after the rumors and the speculation, to me, The Russell Wilson one was a little bit more of a head scratcher because if you look at how much they're eating in the dead cap and what they traded to get for him, and then you release him when he didn't play bad. Like, he didn't have a bad season. He didn't play bad at all last season. Was he the Russ that he was in Seattle? No, but he didn't turn the ball over. He was a game manager. He went in, he executed the game plan, and for the most part, he played pretty decent. So I was a little bit confused by that, but I understand when a new head coach comes in, right? You know, they want their quarterback, they want their guy, right? And a lot of the times we see a new coach, you really see a new quarterback. It's very rare that you see a new coach come in and he keep that same quarterback. But for me, the biggest one was the Justin Simmons one, just because a few years ago we were talking about him being one of the best, if not the best, safeties in the NFL, and he signs the contract extension. We're talking about, we're talking about being the best safety in the NFL, and you release him. Now, obviously, the NFL is a business. We all know the NFL is a business, right? Like, you have to do what you have to do to put your team in the best position to win, and he was a cap casualty. So you save, I think it was like $14 million by just cutting him. Instead of what you could have done was, before the trade deadline, if you knew you were going to trade Russ, you trade him and you stockpile some picks. That way, you're getting some type of value from him, because I'm pretty sure a team would have possibly gave a second or even maybe a first-round pick, depending on what team was hungry enough or interested enough for him. So for me, that was a head-scratcher. And then Tre'Davious White, I'm not really surprised because he's been banged up the last couple of years. But those two guys, wherever they land, I think they're gonna make an immediate impact, just because they were the best players at their position when they were on the field and when they were healthy. So for me, it's those two guys.
I feel you. I mean, I'm gonna agree with you. I think, like, my whole thing is, like, if I'm gonna let you go, I'm not gonna just let you walk. I always from the standpoint, even if it's a 7th round pick, I'm gonna get something for it. Like, you're not just walking away from here. Like, I ain't just cutting you. Like, and you're not gonna tell me that no team in the market didn't want Justin, because he's going to be playing next year. So there's a team that wanted him, right? So, like, even if it's just a 7th round pick, like, I'm taking that. Like, even if it's a couple 7th round pick, I'm
taking a 4th, no less, for Justin Simmons.
Absolutely. No.
I'm just saying he's saying 7th, but I'm sorry, I can't even go that low.
The highest you're probably going to get for him.
Here's the reality. I think it's a respect thing too. I think they probably wanted to respect him and not let him go for a 7th round pick, because that would devalue him, if you will. But at the same time, it's like Justin Simmons, you can't really devalue what he does on the field. He gonna get paid. Like, it don't. He nice.
And he's young.
Fun fact:
or
Justin
younger.
Simmons has intercepted Patrick Mahomes the most in Mahomes' entire NFL career. I think I don't remember the exact number.
I was literally
all picks.
I was having this conversation with a friend about. We were actually talking about Colin Hamilton, but we were talking about who can guard Travis Kelce, and I said there's only 3 guys in the league who can. 2 guys in the league that can do it consistently: Derwin James and Justin Simmons. That's why the Chargers always had. The Chiefs always have a problem with the Chargers, and the Chiefs always have a problem with the Broncos every single year, because they got guys who can guard Travis Kelce. Like that. Like that's the issue right there. Like, they can actually guard. Because they've got feet and hips like corners, but they're big enough to not get bodied by a 245-pound tight end. So it's just like, no, we're going to get busy with you, Travis. And that doesn't surprise me that Justin Simmons has picked him off the most. Juan, talk to me. Biggest free agent cuts in your opinion?
Matt Ryan, unretired, signing with the Falcons to pat the ball and get set. All right.
Anything's better than Desmond.
Kind of on the same trajectory that Darius went. A lot of veteran defensive backs getting cut in the onslaught of a week. I have a list right here. Justin Simmons at the top of the list. Xavier Howard, Avonte Maddox, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs. But there's one DB in particular that had me shocked that he was cut, and that's Tre'Davious White. I get it. He's been a little injury prone the last couple of years, but when he's on that field, that secondary is a difference maker in Buffalo. He's not only a leader, but he is a tremendous cover corner. He can shut down a first option when he's in man coverage. I think the ankle injuries and the knee injuries might catch up to him as he's get older, and that's what the Bills are probably worried about. But it's also that large cap hit that he was going to bring heading into the next season. This is a full-on defensive rebuild that Buffalo's is doing, and the fact that they cut down 3/4 of their entire of their defensive secondary means that they're looking to invest younger in secondary and go heavy on the pass rush in terms of veteran signings. So I'm just very surprised that Buffalo made three cuts on 3 big names. And then my biggest signing is my favorite player in the entire league. And fun fact, like, no one knows that he's my favorite player, but I'm going to say it. Mike Evans, going back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 2 years, $52 million, $35 million guaranteed. Mike Evans is the definition of consistency in the NFL. 10 years, 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons, a Super Bowl win, and then you revitalize your career with Baker Mayfield, of all people, last year. Not only making it to the playoffs, but winning a playoff game. And I was on the sideline covering the Lions-Bucks game when I saw him make that insane over-the-shoulder catch right over the defensive back for a touchdown. Mike Evans back to Tampa works perfectly because it helps keep Baker Mayfield in Tampa. It helps Tampa build on the momentum that they were carrying into last year. If they could just solve a few issues in their defense, specifically at linebacker and the secondary, Tampa would be winning the NFC South for the next two to 3 years.
I'm not gonna comment on that. I'm gonna let you have that one right there. But we got something to say about that. Coach, talk to me.
All right. So first off, consistency is not the word. It is another year, another 1,000. That's it. Like, oh, that was beautiful. I'm sorry. But realistically, the biggest cuts came from the Bills and the Seahawks. It was either one of the two. It's just that simple. Because you got to think, the Seahawks, they cut both of their starting safeties, and now they're going to have to build young in that secondary. They have 2 good pieces with Devin Witherspoon and Tariq Woolen, but who's going to be covering their back? We already know that front seven is not the greatest. They have a couple pieces that's young and can do things, but the Seahawks, they were just as much cap out as the Bills. Listen, honestly, Tre'Davious White is the biggest one, other than maybe Justice Simmons. But it's the collective, the Bills, the Seahawks. They're destroying their secondaries to go automatically young. So I want to see where the likes of Quandre Diggs, Jamal Adams, Poyer, Hyde, all of these Pro Bowl, all pros at one point safeties, where are they going? Where are all of these safeties going at this point? That's what I really want to know, honestly. But
I think
shout out to Jonnu. I love Jonnu Smith, but I love that he got signed already.
2 year $10 million with the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Jonnu is just a boss everywhere he goes. He plays.
Miami just got too much speed, man. Like they just.
Is that even speed with Johnny? He's just powerful.
Listen,
He's fast.
He's fast.
Jonnu is the perfect tight end for Miami. He's not super fast. He's not like super track speed, but he's fast enough to keep up. And he's a great inside or inline blocker now. So he can play to that run game. He's the perfect.
And he can run the ball.
My comment.
He want to run it back. He can run the ball.
Yeah. My comment with all the DBs getting cut, and I was actually reading an article about this before we started the show today. It was that it's a transition for defenses who are now focused more so on the front seven who can have direct contact with the ball before it's thrown in the air, instead of focusing on the positions that have to wait for the ball to get out there. So now it's much more focused on the pass rush than it is on the pass defense.
Jerome, you just talking now. Here's what's scary. Here's what would be scary. All that speed in Miami. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mostert, Achane. And then they decide, we gonna shake everything up and we're gonna make the entire league mad, and we're gonna learn how to play power football too, and we're gonna go get the king since he don't want to be in Tennessee no more. Could you imagine?
No.
Thunder and lightning.
No.
Oh my God! Like
No.
what?
No.
What?
No.
Oh
The
my!
league won't allow it. The league won't allow it.
Oh my God!
And Derrick Henry on the same team.
Oh my God!
There's not enough touches for either one. Derrick gets better with every touch that he gets.
Listen,
He
he
start
ain't
rolling
got-
for at least 6+ yards until the 8th touch.
No.
You put him in a running back by committee.
No.
That's not going to happen.
He's very good.
No.
All he got to do is get 3rd and 1. Third
No.
and goal. Like,
No.
it's scary. Anyway,
No.
all right. So for me,
No. If anything, Derrick Henry is destined for Baltimore. That punishing run style defense that they got down there is perfect for the system that they run.
nah,
Gus Edwards and,
nah.
I would have liked that this year.
Huh?
This year, I would have loved it.
2 years ago, maybe, but nah, not no more.
Even this year, I would have liked it.
Nah.
Just
That's not
because of the injuries that we had at running back.
Listen, all right,
But-
real quick. Let me address you.
Sorry,
Let me address Jerome real quick, okay? We listen. What did Kyle Pitts do with a competent quarterback? Went over 1,000 yards as a rookie. Now that quarterback is no longer here. Who is throwing him the football? Like, we're not about to sit here and say that Kyle. Like, that's like saying Drake London is not good. Like, what are we talking about? Like, they have not had somebody. Anyway, listen, they're not like, they don't have anybody throwing them a football. Like, come on now. Like, we got to understand, like, quarterback play absolutely matters. It absolutely matters. You got to have some type of competent quarterback play. And we just we haven't had that since Matt Ryan. So the reality is the jury's still out on Kyle Pitts and Drake London and some of these, like, that's just the reality. Like, you know, there are some outliers, right? You have like somebody like a Garrett Wilson who's like, he could have a Zach Wilson throwing to him and still get over 1,000 yards. Well, that's because Garrett Wilson might be the second coming of Devontae Adams. We're not about to sit there and sleep on that. Like, he's really good. I'm not comparing Drake London to Garrett Wilson, but what I am saying is competent quarterback play matters. And Desmond Ridder was literally throwing. There were some picks that Desmond threw that made me say he might need to go get his eyes checked. Like, he was really bad this year. It was not even close. It is no, he didn't.
Go get you a bloodhound because he was duck hunting season.
And here's the thing: guess what? He was getting targeted. Kyle wasn't. Like, Desmond was just throwing it up.
Kyle was not getting targeted.
That was listen. That one.
The fact that you had this head coach who valued like 3rd, 4th string receivers over the top guys
that one
catch
that he had against the Saints, Drake London, where he goes between the 2 defenders. It was a horrible pass. He just threw it up. Like, Drake London's 6'5". He's like, all right, I guess I got to make an amazing catch again. Like,
I don't even
know. Jerome is bad
Y'all
Drake London and Kyle Pitts so much because he just wants the Eagles to trade for him and replace AJ Brown
and Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith was a terrible
Avery.
coach.
Avery,
as well.
we watched the whole game where Bijan Robinson didn't really get
by an inch.
And
Arthur Smith is a
no
terrible
one could explain why. So I'm sorry, but we don't need to conversate on why y'all team was the way it was this year.
I'm just saying
your head coach was Arthur Smith.
That's what I'm saying. We said
sorry.
What Nathaniel
Pitts
if he had stayed in Denver even longer.
We blaming
Smith was.
No, he was not the scapegoat. He was a terrible head coach, bro. Like,
he was a scapegoat. Nathaniel Hackett was just terrible.
He was not good. Like, I'm not giving
probably a good offensive coordinator.
Exactly.
He's not a good head
not
coach.
A good head coach.
Not all.
Not a good head coach.
Defensive coordinator
can
be.
Air it out.
Look. Can he scheme a run game? Absolutely. But that brother in the passing game, getting guys the football. I mean, same thing in Tennessee. Name a receiver in Tennessee that was balling outside of AJ Brown, and that's because he's AJ Brown. Like he can run the football, but that's it. So what did you see? Hold on. What did you see in Atlanta? What did you see in Atlanta?
I got one for you. The 1 year with Corey Davis where he had his 900-yard season.
Boy, if you don't get out of here,
that would be the one other receiver. Listen, I don't got nothing else for you.
Boy, if you don't
give a quick shout out to the one DB.
But wait. They had competent quarterback play that year. When Matt Ryan was there, Kyle Pitts wasn't the only one who went over 1,000 yards. Remember that? Like, come on, man. Listen, I'm off my.
Didn't they also have Calvin Ridley at that point?
I'm off. Exactly. Do you understand? Like, people don't understand.
I be forgetting about Calvin Ridley.
We're not about to sit here and disrespect Kyle Pitts yet. Okay. I'm not saying he's good. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm saying competent will show me.
I just want to give a shout out to the one DB that did.
That's why he got fired.
The one DB who did not get cut in this huge onslaught of DB cuts. Jalen Johnson signing that 4-year contract with the Bears, very well deserved for a kid who was Jalen. Yes. I don't even remember if he was like a 4th-round pick. Like the kid deserved it though. He was.
But with that being said, I want to talk about mine. Mine is without question Justin Simmons. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Like I understand Tre'Davious White, but Tre'Davious White makes a little bit more sense because of the injury history, because of the cap heck that the Bills were going to be in. So I understand that, and I understand the cap crap that the Broncos are going to be in for the foreseeable future because they still got to pay Russell. You listen. You know what? You can go somewhere.
No. We are more Falcons.
Yeah, we're not going down that road. But Justin Simmons to me is the one where it's just like, listen, that's like it's Justin Simmons and Patrick Surtain. That's the defense for me. Like those two guys were the staples on the defense, especially on the back end. And Justin Simmons was, in my opinion, a top 3 safety in the NFL. He might have been number 2. In some people's opinion, he might even been number 1. The guy was absolutely phenomenal. Like he can play down in the box. He can play on the back end as well. He can cover, like I said, tight ends, a la Travis Kelce, Darren Waller's. He's just a really good football player. So, and he's young. So that's the one for me that it messed me up. I'm like, I don't understand it. I get it, from a cap standpoint. But I'm like, listen, man, you got to have some staple guys. And here's the reason it bothered me the most. You weren't that far away from contending. You didn't have that many holes on the team. Like, your defense was solid. Running game was decent. All you needed was a little bit more from your quarterback and a little bit more from your offensive line. I don't know. I don't know what that was about, but it is what it is. Your guys are goofy. Anyway, Juan, I see your hand.
I just want to say I need to get new jerseys now because two of my 32 jerseys are guys that got cut today. Oh. Xavier Howard and Tre'Davious White.
I love it.
Listen, at least you got the vintage. You got the throwbacks.
Right. He's hurt. Juan, how hurt are you?
I'm like $240 hurt.
That hurts. All right, listen, we're going to jump into the next topic here. All right, and so I want to talk to you guys. Obviously, the draft is coming up after, combine is done. Now we got free agency going on and everything like that. But the next thing really look for outside of OTAs is the NFL draft. All right, and so I want to know, in free agency. So I want to know during this free agency period in the NFL draft from the NFC North teams per team, what are their agendas? Like, what are we talking about here? What do these teams need to be going after? Each team, Coach, I'm going to start with you. Talk to me about the NFC North, those teams. What should they be looking for? What should each team be going after? Let me know.
All right. But let's get the elephant or the easiest one out the room. Where's Justin Fields going to go? We know what Justin Fields does. We know what the Bears are going to do. It's that simple. If Justin Fields leaves, Caleb Williams. If Justin doesn't, now we have the dilemma. It's really that simple. Like, I don't even understand what that conversation would be about other than, hey, is Justin staying or is he going? Because there's no other in between with that. You cannot keep him on your roster next year unless you are giving him weapons and you fully come out and say, Justin Fields is our quarterback of the future and we're paying him this offseason. Period. Vikings, what are we doing with Kirk Cousins? Like, you really have a lot of other holes, but you cannot waste, and I repeat, you cannot waste a good year of Justin Jefferson's career. He is too good. Period. I'm sorry. You cannot waste Justin Jefferson's career with a mediocre quarterback.
Time out. Half of those are by who? Half of those touchdowns.
This is the NFC North, not the NFC South.
Half of those touchdowns came from Matt Ryan. Jeez Louise. Quarterback play.
We got Vikings. But the two most interesting ones are the Packers, who need to work on that defense. That defense was not there for them this year. I'm sorry. But the offense, that offense looks really like it's going to be good. I'm sorry. Listen, a young Jordan Love who came out and did pretty dang on well for his first year starting. The young receivers that he has were solid this year. They had their ups and downs, but they were solid overall, particularly Romeo Doubs. I like the running game. So, honestly, I like the Packers offense going forward. It's that defense that they need to worry about, particularly the back end for me. I'm sorry.
Were you watching the Packers this year?
Listen here. I like the young guys of the Packers.
Personally. You watching the same Packers we were watching, right?
There's the youngest team in the league, and they had the youngest defense in the league. Made the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Almost beat the San Francisco 49ers with that defense.
Sorry, still don't like that Packers defense.
All right.
That's me personally. I'm not a fan of it. But the team that everybody should be a fan of, even if you're not a fan, is the Detroit Lions. I'm sorry. They was just a fun team to watch. They knew what you was going to get. Tough, gritty team. It was what we wanted football to be. It's what we want football to be. A team that's going to hit, a team that's going to play hard and run the ball. Like, they ran the ball, played action, and killed people. And you knew what was coming. You still couldn't stop it. They got to make sure that secondary stays solid and upgrades a little bit more. But people like C.J. Gardner-Johnson got to stay. He has to get brought back. That interior defensive line got to get improved because Aiden Hutchinson, he's gonna be him for a while. I'm sorry, I love the kid. I love him. And what we doing with Jared Goff? Is Jared Goff like our full? That's it? We not going nowhere else, or are we possibly going to move from Jared Goff and get someone else? I'm just saying, because that would be the only other thing I would say for offense, other than the guards. But I don't see them guards leaving anytime soon. I see that team staying close to what it is.
Isaiah Likely has a two-time NFL MVP throwing him the freaking football.
I love that Avery gets mad about these comments when he's the one that chooses him.
Oh, as a backup comment, I'm sorry, that was it.
As a backup,
that was the one.
It's not. It's really not. Like, number one, they're the best rushing team in the NFL. When you have Lamar Jackson, you cannot just you have to play against him. So of course, I Likely is going to get open because I'm looking at Lamar. I'm not looking at him. Of course, he's going to be open because I'm looking at Mark Andrews. I'm not looking at him. Who is this? And then Mark gets hurt. Of course, he's going to get the targets now. What are we talking? You know what? This is what I'm talking about. Where I'll be like, I'll be wondering.
This is how I feel.
I'll be
wondering. There, you talking about, hey, so Matt Ryan's gonna come back. We're gonna pack that thing right, and we're gonna be good.
Oh, take us back to the Super Bowl. Julio Jones, why not coming back with your decrepit self and just
I'm
come out?
saying I don't get. We not going. I'm just not here for the slander. Is all. I'm not here for the slander of a guy who don't have what y'all got. That's all I'm saying. All right. The one and only, the 1+1. Talk to me. NFC North.
Going down the list, I'll start with Chicago. Do not trade Justin Fields for the love of God. All right. Do not trade him. The man is a good quarterback. He needs consistency. You can't expect a quarterback who's in his third year and on his second offensive coordinator to be good. That's not how developing a player works. You can, and most of all, when you have the number 1 overall pick, use it to get more leverage like you did last year. You got DJ Moore when you got the number 1 overall pick. And that wasn't even a great quarterback class outside of CJ Stroud. Imagine what you could get for this one. Not to mention, if you don't want to trade it, you have arguably the most quarterback-proof wide receiver sitting on the board right now in Ohio State's Marvin Harrison Jr. All right, I know it might be a little taboo and kind of crazy to draft a wide receiver number 1 overall, but dang it, if there's ever been a player that deserves that a 1-of-1 drafting, it's him. It is that
good. Like it's Madden. If you think like it's Madden, Marvin Harrison is the number 1 overall pick.
Like I know think like that, but like it's talent. It's pure talent. The number 1 overall football player in this draft class alone is Marvin Harrison Jr. And if you're not going to trade the pick, draft him. Keep Justin Fields. I'm off my soapbox on that one. As for the Vikings, while Kirk Cousins is a big concern at the quarterback position, I think pass rusher is your biggest concern, specifically Danielle Hunter entering free agency. I know there's been a lot of drama in his contract negotiations, but the man put up double-digit sacks. I think it was around 15 plus last year, to the point where he was arguably the best defensive player in the league and should have deserved more defensive player of the year votes, in my opinion, as a pass rusher. In any case, you got to solve that. You got to solve that issue. Either explore a cheaper pass rusher like Bryce Huff from the Jets, maybe look into drafting one, or just give Danielle Hunter his money. But then what do you do for Justin Jefferson? It's all about trying to find the balance among your stars. And unfortunately, I feel like Danielle Hunter is going to be a cap casualty in order to get Justin Simmons to stay with the team. Then we go to the Green Bay Packers. Honestly, it has to be the safety position. That secondary was that pass rush was pretty decent. The linebackers held their own as much as they could. It's the secondary that needs to be addressed, specifically the safety position. There's not a lot of big names in that secondary backfield that can really hold it down back there. Address it and make sure that gosh, I forget his name. Jair Alexander just keeps his mouth shut whenever he's talking to the media, because that kid just cannot not save himself.
Darnell Savage, if I'm not mistaken, are free agents this year. So just a secondary.
And then finally, the Detroit Lions. Detroit, I've lived in this city for the last couple years, for the last year and a half. This is a football town if I've ever been one, man. The energy here is freaking fantastic. And the fact that they made it as far as they did last year lifted an entire population to a point I had never seen a market be lifted up before. And the biggest thing they need to focus on, similar to the Packers, it's that secondary, man. They gave up a lot of big plays to a lot of teams. Like they were a vulnerable group. I love CJ Gardner-Johnson, but he is terrible in coverage, man. The guy can hit really hard. He knows how to run defend, but he is a liability when it comes to pass defense. You need to find a viable safety, a viable free safety to help support your cornerbacks. And also you need another offensive lineman because Jonah Jackson might be gone in free agency.
All right. Not mad at it. I want to address this real quick, Darius. Very simple. Okay, Jerome, very simple. Either trade for Fields, go get Kirk Cousins, or draft what's his name? Penix. I would like Penix over McCarthy. That's personally. I don't think we're gonna trade up. Like I don't want us to do that because outside of Caleb, I don't think anybody's worth it. So I wouldn't trade up. I would wait.
Not even Marcus May. You don't like him?
Not to trade up. He's good, but he's not. He's one of those guys. Like, honestly, if we're gonna be real, like, he might not go in the top 3. I know a lot of mock drafts haven't won. If he doesn't go in the top 3, he'll be there at 8. That's just reality. If the top 3 aren't quarterbacks, then it'll be 2 quarterbacks at 1 and 2, and then the rest of the quarterbacks are going to either fall out of the top 10 or be at the back end of the top 10. That's just how, according to team need. But that's just how I see it. And I would again, but if May is not there, then the next for me would be that I would want would be Penix. That's just me personally. Bro, what y'all got? Brian Branch? No, Brian Branch is the dog. He's talking about CJ though. He's talking about CJ Gardner Johnson. Like, you got, because you need more than just one guy. Darius, talk to me.
The most fun, the team that I'm looking at that's gonna have the most fun off this offseason is the Chicago Bears. You got the first overall, you got 2 first-round picks. Now, don't trade Justin Fields. I'm with you on. He is not the problem. Get him Marvin Harrison Jr. paired up with DJ Moore and get that man one of the top tackles if you can, and get him some protection and let him cook, and you beef up that defense through free agency because they have a lot of cap space, and you build up that defense. You get younger, do the job. Do not trade Justin Fields, because if you trade Justin Fields, you're bringing in Caleb Williams into almost the same situation as Justin Fields. Justin Fields with a number 1 receiver. We saw what he did with DJ Moore, right? He has a solid running game, and that defense is young, and they're pretty much proven. Like we said, offensive coordinators, I watched it in New England. It does not work. That will kill his confidence. So if I'm the Bears, I'm drafting Marvin Harrison, or you know how many teams want that number 1 overall pick that wants Caleb Williams, that's going to want a quarterback? Who would want to trade up, and you can stockpile more picks and you can trade
49ers.
back? And I guarantee it. This wide receiver class is so deep. Yes, we all know Marvin Harrison. He's in a class of his own. But there's so many other players that you can get in rounds 2 and later in the first round, or day 2 or day 3, that can go in there and be day 1 starters. So for me, if I'm the Bears, keep Justin Fields, trade the first overall pick, and stockpile some picks. The Minnesota Vikings, this is a hot take. I'm trading Justin Jefferson. Do you know what you can get for Justin Jefferson after the year Jordan Addison had? Now, yes, you need a quarterback. You need somebody to throw him the ball. But Justin Jefferson is going to break the break when it's time for his contract extension. And if you're not, we just talked about this. If you're not going to re-sign him, you can get something for him. So if I'm Minnesota, I give him the contract I think he's worth. If he's like, no, then I trade him, and I'm asking for a first-round pick. I'm not taking a second-round pick. I'm asking for a first-round pick, because now guess what I can do with that first-round pick? I can use that first-round pick, and I can stockpile some more picks, and I can build up my team, and I can build up my defense.
Quick question: Where are you trading to?
We talk about the Green Bay Packers. They're a defensive way for being a real threat, right? Like the number 1 problem with the Green Bay Packers, yes, the defense is good, but it's the secondary. They're a little bit sus in the secondary. They gave up a little bit of good plays, but especially with Jaire Alexander, we don't know what's going to happen. I think he's going to be a pending free agent. So if he walks, now you have a question mark at your number 1 as a lockdown corner. And the Detroit Lions, it's the same thing. What they need right now is a lockdown corner. If you can get somebody that can go out there every game and shut down the number 1 wide receiver, the offense is proven that they can put up points, right? Like, the offense is going to put up points. We know what Jared Goff can do, play action, and a good running game. So I'm not worried about the offense. It's the defense. If you can get a number 1 corner and you can get somebody to pair up with Aiden Hutchinson on the other side, come on. The Detroit Lions will be back. If that happens, the Detroit Lions are going to the Super Bowl. I think they're that good offensively to go back. And we got robbed of a Baltimore-Detroit Super Bowl, but I think this year we just might get that. But I think the Lions are defensively, it's a couple of pieces. Like, offensively, I don't really think they need much. Maybe just get some depth on the offensive line. Maybe get another running back. Wide receivers, you got proven wide receivers: Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Jared Goff. We know what he can do, like I said. But defensively, if you can get a lockdown corner, whether free agency or in the draft, and you just build up that defensive line, you get Aiden Hutchinson, another pairing partner. whew.
All right,
Your linebackers don't really have to do much. If you got two guys who can rush the passer and your secondary is good, all you're asking your linebackers to do, hey, just tackle. I just need you to tackle, and that's all I need you to really do is just tackle. So that's how I'm doing it.
So I'm going.
That's not even the question. We're not doing that.
Also,
That's not a question. That's not a thing.
Just paid
not
over $130 million.
I'm not even getting to that. I'm not getting into that. Actually, you know, Darius, what you said isn't really too much of a hot take, and that because I kind of agree with you, and I'll explain why in my take here. All right, so I'm going to start with you know, I'll just start with the Vikings in that case. Trade Justin Jefferson. Okay, trade Justin Jefferson. This is going to sound crazy, but
it's not.
Trade him. No, I'm saying where to. Trade him to the Chicago Bears. Trade Chicago gives up the number 1 overall pick for Justin Jefferson, but also gets Minnesota's first round pick in return, right? And now you keep Justin Fields. So now you don't have to worry about drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. Okay. So now you've got Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, Justin Fields. Like that offense is scary now, right? Let them develop. Chicago still has the number 9 overall pick as well. Okay, so boom, you trade. So right. So if I'm Minnesota, that's what I do. Then I re-sign Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins has shown us it don't matter who you give me. I'm going to put numbers up, whether it's Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, whoever is Terry McLaurin, whoever I'm throwing the football to, they're going to get their numbers because I'm Kirk Cousins. And I do this. I throw the football. Like he's arguably the best thrower of the football in the league right now that's not named Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers. Like he just knows how to get his guys the football. Like that's just simple as that. Kirk Cousins has proven that year after year after year. So that's me if I'm Minnesota. That's what I would do. And then obviously I would target, like you were saying, Juan, on the defensive line, some pass rush. With that number 1 overall pick, I could see them easily now because they traded them. Now I can say, oh, let's go get Dallas Turner, put him on the field. Now we talking and re-sign Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter, Dallas Turner. Oh my God! Now you're talking about the Vikings. They've absolutely changed their entire team like that, right? That's how I would do that. Let me see what these comments are saying right here. That's funny.
It's not a bad. It's very reasonable.
All right, on first take now, Jerome.
There's no way that the Vikings would be willing to give their best offensive weapon, one of the best offensive weapons in the entire league.
They did with
Stephon division rival.
They did with Stephon Diggs.
AFC team, not the NFC North.
Hey, I'm just saying. All right, so now to the Bears. I agree with everybody. Do not trade Justin Fields, even though I would love to see him in Atlanta. I agree. The best, trade back. You can get a lot for that, a la a Justin Jefferson, or you can get a bunch of other picks, and you still are drafting in the top 10 because you got number 9. It's not like you're just dropping out of the top 10. You still have that. Plus, I mean, you could get a haul for that number 1 overall pick. And that's what I would do if I'm the Bears. Okay. Now I'm going to move to Detroit. Here's what you do, Detroit. There's the all-pro safety, Pro Bowl safety out there who just got cut by the Denver Broncos. Your CJ Gardner-Johnson is now a free agent. Go get Justin Simmons and watch y'all take a Super Bowl run. Watch y'all take a Super Bowl run. Go sign that guy. Okay? Go sign that guy. And then in the draft, you worry about getting yourself a corner. Quinyon Mitchell, Nate Wiggins. This is possible, but go get Justin Simmons first. Go get that guy. Put him on the back end. Now we cooking with hot grease. Okay? Packers. Okay? It's really all about making sure when you fortify your offensive line, got to protect your franchise quarterback, and then fortify that back end. It should be defensive back university over there. Like you should just go after D-backs. Hey, You know who's out there who just got cut? There's this guy who, he can't really stay on the field, but you got another cornerback who can't stay on the field. His name is Tre'Davious White. Go get him, or maybe even add a Jordan Poyer in there if you're feeling froggy. Go get him. These are some proven guys in the league. You shored up the back end of your defense. You bring in some veteran guys who can teach those young guys how to really be pros and do this thing. You talking about now you play against the 49ers. We talking about some really, really tough-nosed football. You talk about Tre'Davious White meshed up with Debo and Jair Alexander meshed up with Brandon Ayuk and like Poyer and Kittle. Like that, we talk about some scary football there if it was another Detroit Lions and 49ers NFC matchup. That's all I'm saying. That's how I would do it. And yeah, that's all I'm saying. Avery doing trades like he tried to do fantasy football. Bruh, what are you talking? I said one trade. Everything else was free agents. What are you talking about? And would you not? Is Justin Jefferson not worth a first round pick? He's worth a first round pick. And if you're the Bears, would you not? If you feel like you're a receiver away from Justin Fields to take it to the next level, why wouldn't you go and get arguably the best in the league? What up? What up? What up? We appreciate you jumping on. So yeah, that's how I would do it. You know what? Let's bring it back, man. Let's jump into it. We haven't done it in a minute. It's been Hot Take Saturday for a long time. We're gonna do a Hot Take Thursday. Let's bring it back, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna jump into Hot Take Thursday. All right, Darius, you dropped like a mild take. Well, it could be a hot take in some people's eyes, clearly Jerome's. But I think it's a mild take because I agree with you. So give me a hot take, something spicy, hot off the press.
I don't think I really got anything hot, but I think two of these guys are gonna sign like day one of free agency. I think it's already set in stone. We just gotta wait. I think Derrick Henry, I think he's gonna go to the NFC, and I think he's going to go to the Dallas Cowboys. I think Dallas somehow manages to just bring King Henry to Dallas, and you pair him up with CeeDee Lamb. That takes the pressure off Dak. Tony Pollard, I think they bring him back, but Tony Pollard, Derrick Henry, they're gonna make some magic. And then I've seen this, and I can see this happening just because he went to Penn State. I think Saquon goes to the Eagles. I think somehow how he gets it done. The man just know how to just get what he wants. I think Saquon goes to the Eagles. I think he goes on a 1 year prove it type of deal, and then next year he gets his multi-million-dollar contract. So I can see Saquon and Derrick Henry going to the NFC East in free agency.
The first one I like. The second one, I don't like it.
I don't like either, but
not because I don't like the Eagles or anything like that. I just don't like the fit personally. I don't like the fit because I feel like Swift is. I don't stop doing that man dirty, man. He nice, yo. He was balling for you. Give him the ball, man. Let him rock out. Let Saquon go somewhere else, man. Like I don't like the fit. That's like I love Saquon, and when I say I don't like the fit, like that's not me saying like gameplay wise. Like that's the best offensive line in the league. So of course Saquon can fit there. I don't like the fit from what it would mean for Swift. I don't like that. Like let the ball rock out. He was balling last year. Like don't do that. Don't do that, man, like that. So that's just me. But I actually like Henry and Pollard in that backfield. That's some scary football right there. All right, Coach. Hot Take Thursday.
I don't know if I can get any hotter than yours, Avery, talking about some Justin Jefferson to the Bears. Yes, but hear me out, because I don't think he will be there at the Dolphins pick. But I honestly believe if the Dolphins are smart, and he really is the most physical, the number one cornerback on the board, the Dolphins go get Quinyon Mitchell, and they steal Saquon Barkley. Let go of Raheem Mostert. Could you imagine that? That is Mr. Juke Move himself with the Dolphins. And then that secondary now has Quinyon Mitchell, one of those physical corners, along with and learning under who? Jalen Ramsey? And you still got Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb coming back on a pass rush. I'm sorry. Listen, the
And
Dolphins.
Devon Holland, he's a dog. He's a dog back there.
I ain't have to mention the safety up top covering the back end.
I ain't gonna lie. We see him twice a year.
Hey, listen.
He's a dog.
That would be a scary team. That's just a scary team to think about. I'm just saying. But I can see them doing, especially after letting go of Xavier Howard. You need to replace him. You got to.
I like it. All right. One hot take Thursday.
Not so much as a hot take, but just something I think might be interesting. So we know that two of the top corners in the AFC East got let go over the last couple of days: Xavier Howard by the Dolphins and Tre'Davious White by the Buffalo Bills. So I'm thinking they switch places. Tre'Davious White goes and joins Miami. Could you imagine Tre'Davious White and Jalen Ramsey? I'm not anti-Jets now, but I'm just not about you hyping me up when I still have disappointment in my life. Anyway, so Tre'Davious White down in Miami alongside Jalen Ramsey. Tre'Davious may not be as fast as he used to be, but he is still a solid corner. Can still play man-to-man and zone coverage, especially with what the defense could look like in Miami. And then Xavier Howard needs a fresh start. And what better way of getting a fresh start than when a rival team against your former team and playing in a defense where you are there for the cheap, but you can stand out as the top defensive option there.
I like it. Here's my hot take. The Vikings, in fact, do trade Justin Jefferson to the Bills for the to the Bears for the number 1 overall pick. Okay? They actually do that. Justin Jefferson goes to the Bears. And the Bears also get a first-round pick from the Vikings and a second-round pick. The Vikings then, with the number 1 overall pick, draft Caleb Williams, number 1 overall. They let Kirk Cousins walk. They let him walk, ladies and gentlemen. They draft Caleb Williams.
Now.
And then.
Wait, there's more.
There's more. The Falcons signed Kirk Cousins
to pat the ball like another Matt Ryan. Oh my God.
And then at number 8, the Falcons draft none other than Marvin Harrison Jr. It's gonna happen, y'all.
You are as delusional as whatever fantasy football trades you make during the season, man.
It's gonna happen, y'all. Watch.
Now, now, hold up. I don't know about that second half with the Kirk Cousins and the Marvin Harrison, but hear me out.
Watch.
I'm thinking about it now. The Vikings, if they get lucky, coming back into the second round, now you draft Brian Thomas if he slips to pair with Jordan Addison, a big guy, a little man with the KJ Osborne. I don't know. That does sound pretty nice for Caleb right there. I don't know, Avery. You might not be crazy today. You might not be smoking the weeds today, I guess. Whew.
I'm with you with the Justin Jefferson trade, but you lost me after that, where he goes and everything else. You lost me after that. I'm with you with the trade.
I'm just saying.
I'm with you with the trade, but to the Bears,
just saying. Or hot take number 2. The Falcons trade a second-round pick, Richie Grant, over to the Bears for Justin Fields. Okay? And then trade. I hate to say it. Grady Jarrett to the Arizona Cardinals and their first-round pick, number 8 overall, for the Cardinals' first-round pick, and then draft Marvin Harrison Jr. to pair with Justin Fields. So now you got Marvin Harrison, Justin Fields.
Man, you can try to get Marvin Harrison at this point. Let's just keep it but he want Marvin Harrison no matter what happens. He don't really care.
Marvin Harrison's got to land in Atlanta.
I'm like, he really wants to happen.
I'm trying to get a to come back to Georgia.
To the red.
I'm just saying, these are hot takes, ladies and gentlemen. Richie Grant was the worst safety in football. He was horrible. I'm sorry. If Richie Grant might as well not have been. I would have been happier if we played football with Richie Grant off the field and played with 10 players. He was that bad. He was that bad this year. Jesse Bates covered up a lot, and he couldn't even cover everything. Richie Grant was hot garbage. He was trash truck juice at the bottom.
Bates. You can only get better.
Jesse Bates is the reason why y'all actually was even in the race this year.
He's a fact.
I'm sorry. He was the ball. He
was the ball. Worth every penny.
Every
penny.
Listen, you could have signed him for another $10 million and still would have been worth every penny.
Yeah. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for us at the Air It Out podcast. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Please do me a favor. Go on to all of your social media platforms, okay? And follow us, okay? Go on Twitter at Inside Hashes, Instagram at Inside the Hashes, Facebook at Inside the Hashes. Follow us, man. Go on Spotify. Check us out. You know what I'm saying? We there too. That's right. You know what I'm saying? And then do me a favor. Go to the website, www.insidethehashes.com. That's where you're going to get all your football content. I'm talking about blogs, podcasts, player interviews, everything. Go over to www.insidethehashes.com. Please do it. I'm sorry. Y'all didn't answer the question. Okay. What is the question? What's the question? What question? Are you talking about this question? Is this the question you're talking about? Or are you talking about this one? Which one? You didn't ask 18 questions. Which question did we not answer, sir?
I do got one question. I do got one answer, though. Diggs gets traded, and if he gets traded, he goes to the Cowboys with his bro.
I think...
Listen, I'm just saying, listen, you pair Stephon Diggs with CeeDee Lamb, and then as somebody said already, you now have Derrick Henry down there. That got no more excuses for when the Cowboys
That's
lose.
Still gonna find a way. They're still gonna find a way to lose.
Again, you got no more excuses when they lose in the first round.
They still gonna find a way to lose.
That's fine.
Wait,
Diggs is wearing that blue and white.
Here's the real question.
Dallas we talking about, man.
Here's the real question. Which Diggs is you talking about getting traded?
Probably Stephon.
Hey.
Stephon?
Hey.
Ain't letting go of
Trade.
Signed Stephon last season.
Trade coming up with injury. I'm out.
Nah, man, listen. Them 11 picks got him a little bit of grace.
Hey, listen, and Bland was absolutely balling this year.
Exactly. So you're not going to break up that. You think you had a guy with 11 picks who started off the season getting a forced fumble?
Timeout. Y'all see it right there. Listen, we need 700 followers until we hit 10K on Twitter. Y'all better go on there and run it up. Share everything. Repost everything. Go follow us on Twitter. That's Inside Hashes, not Inside the Hashes. Inside Hashes on Twitter. All right, go do that. Run that up. Get us to 10K. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do this. If we get to 10K by June 1st, I'm personally going to give one of our followers a special gift. I said it. That's right. We need to get to 10K by June 1st, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that's what I'm talking about. But like I said, go to the website, www.insidethehashes.com. All your needs right there, okay? And then also go to YouTube, okay? Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our YouTube channel, and turn on the notification button. That way you know when we are live, you can get your comments dropped in here live, just like you saw today. We love to interact with you all, so please do that for us. But ladies and gentlemen, if you don't want to go to all those different places, all you got to do What's the gift? Another horrible take. You know what? You know what, sir? I'm gonna let you have that. Like I was saying, if you don't want to do all those different things, just scan this QR code right here you see in the corner. It'll take you exactly where you need to be. For Juan, for Darius, for Coach, my name is Avery. This is the Air It Out podcast, and all I'm saying is if we do get Kirk Cousins, he cannot pat the ball because Matt Ryan was patting the ball, and when he was doing that's what
we're never going to get rid of this patting the ball, man.
Like that.
How you go from one white guy to another white guy?